Shang Zhongshan whispered. I moved quietly through the cold and dry underground passage. The night pearls about the size of fists had shone for countless years, casting a faint blue light that barely illuminated my form, leaving even my features in shadow. I always felt like someone was watching me, making my hair stand on end, but when I turned around, there was nothing to be found. At the time, I only thought it was an illusion. I followed the light through the rugged passage and arrived at the main tomb at the core of the complex. The scale of the main tomb left me speechless. For a moment, I forgot that this was a dark and terrifying burial chamber. Shang Zhongshan closed his eyes and paused, as if recalling every detail of what he had seen. After a moment, he continued in a slow, trembling voice. I have never seen such a grand tomb. The ceiling soared high like the heavens themselves. Beneath it stood life-sized bronze soldiers with sharp spears, faithfully guarding their masters. The treasures and artifacts were displayed in an intricate Bagua formation, reflecting the order of heaven. The mummified bodies had been dead for centuries, but even through the coffins, their terrifying aura still made my heart race. It felt as if that ancient immortal was merely sleeping, ready to awaken at any moment. I hesitated not. I decided on the spot and took half of the treasures. Just as I was about to leave, footsteps echoed in the empty tomb, sending shivers down my spine. Here came a terrifying situation I had never encountered during all these years as a grave robber. Lu Yang and Tao Yao leaned forward eagerly, wanting to hear what happened next. Shang Zhongshan's face contorted with pain, his voice trembling. I encountered the descendant of an immortal in the process of paying respects to the ancestral spirits. What? Lu Yang and Tao Yao understood but were still taken aback. Those people brought offerings and magical artifacts, venerating their ancestors, praying for the family's longevity and prosperity. On their way, they noticed me stealing from the tomb and rushed at me, capturing me on the spot. It was terrifying. I still sweat just thinking about it. I think their reaction is quite normal, Lu Yang said honestly. After all, if a family didn't kill you outright for grave robbing, that's considered good manners. Is this what you call the Great Terror? Tao Yao asked. Shang Zhongshan scratched his head, confused by their reactions. Yes, encountering the descendants of an immortal in one's own tomb. Can anything be more terrifying? What happened next? I was beaten severely. My cultivation dropped from peak qi condensation to mid-qi condensation. I was thrown into prison and had to pay back all the treasures I had stolen. I spent 10 years behind bars before deciding to retire and start anew, never to return to this world. Chinese letter. Be honest. I couldn't face my fellow grave robbers, Shang Zhongshan said sincerely. After properly burying chapter manager without skin, Shang Zhongshan invited Lu Yang and Tao Yao to stay one more night before leaving. Tao Yao declined. If not for the need to lure out the skinless ghost, Tao Yao would have never chosen to spend the night. Traveling at night was no challenge for two foundation establishment cultivators like them. Before their departure, Lu Yang found Shang Yuan and patted the parrot's head. If Tai Ping village hadn't mistaken the parrot for a monster, they might not have come to the Shang family to deal with the skinless ghost. This parrot is good. It might really be a monster. We should train it properly. Shang Yuan was surprised and asked about the reason. Early-stage monsters are hard to distinguish from ordinary beasts. I couldn't tell them apart either, Lu Yang said, smiling. But Little Green didn't leave your home but instead kept flying around Tai Ping village, knowing there was danger. She didn't approach your house, possibly by coincidence or as a sign of awakening her spirit intelligence. Lu Yang chuckled and said no more. Shang Zhongshan felt he had not done enough to repay their kindness in saving his family. He offered them a book on tomb raiding techniques. If you don't mind, take this. It might come in handy someday. Lu Yang accepted the book politely, and they bid each other farewell. On their way back, Lu Yang asked, "Do you want this tomb raiding technique manual?" Tao Yao shook her head. She wasn't a grave robber, she had no use for it. Lu Yang thought it was useless too, but kept it anyway. Why didn't you warn me before poisoning my room? Tao Yao was still upset about it. Thankfully, as a feathered immortal body, she had high resistance to all poisons. Otherwise, she would have ended up with foot fungus like chapter manager. Would a beautiful girl get foot fungus? Lu Yang shrugged. He only poisoned the room after confirming that it wouldn't harm Tao Yao. I told you. When? During dinner with my eyes, Lu Yang said. So you weren't too short to reach the food and had me pass you the plate? Tao Yao asked. I'm not so shallow, Lu Yang replied. They returned to Taoist Academy just as Meng Jingzhu was finishing his mission. He was complaining to his mentor about a fox spirit who complained that he wasn't cooperative enough during their task. Junior brother Meng Jingzhu, this task is simple. Why did the fox spirit complain and say you were uncooperative? The mentor seemed puzzled. A book on cultivation techniques shouldn't be an issue of attitude. Mentor, investigate that fox spirit. There's something fishy about her. I was just offering to help with double cultivation, but she insisted we test it out together. Meng Jingzhu fumed. If only I could break through my pure yang body, I would have accepted. It was unclear if he was angry at his pure yang body or that the fox spirit had underestimated his dedication. Seeing his mentor looking helpless, Lu Yang stepped in to help. Mentor, we completed our task of dealing with a monster. Lu Yang detailed how people in Tai Ping village mistook the parrot for a speaking monster, and how he and Tao Yao eventually lured out the skinless ghost. He handed over the ashes of the skinless ghost at the end. Your first mission was executed so well. You did an excellent job, the mentor said, impressed. He thought it would be simple but had underestimated the complexity. Hearing Lu Yang's description of his precise and swift handling of the battle, he was even more impressed. Without poisoning, subduing the skinless ghost could have been a challenge, and they might have escaped. Most importantly, this young disciple carried foot fungus-infused poison on him. The mentor moved away slightly out of caution. Both of you exceeded your mission requirements. Your original contribution points are quadrupled to 120, while junior sister Tao Yao gets 90 for her assistance, the mentor said. Tao Yao agreed. Lu Yang had been crucial in this mission as a bait.